Back when Digital Circus was still new, I said it had infinite potential. Episode 3, in my opinion at least, is that fully realized. I also said back when episode 2 was new that I'm the kind of person that needs to sit with some things. I don't mind giving my first impressions on anything, but I need to digest and really think about something to really form an opinion. And sometimes you never know, things don't always age that well. And I've been thinking about episode 3 of the show for quite a bit actually. Specifically for, well, a certain scene. I think you all know what it is, and it's rightfully getting the praise it deserves. But for me, it works on so many levels. We get to know Kinger's backstory, always appreciated. We understand why he's actually as calm as he is, because, as he puts it himself, he can think more clearly in the dark. And we see his supportive side in full effect. And to me, it works on a meta perspective too, and I'll get to that in a bit. First off though, I love very humanizing characters. Vulnerable or relatable ones. Those with really good centers. And Kinger definitely is that, and a bit of a interesting spin on it. He seems to be legitimately not having a great time, a bit insane, but having those short moments of lucidity where we see how he probably really is like. That in of itself can be kind of scary. I remember my grandmother was struggling with a memory towards the end of her life, but sometimes she would get super lucid for short moments of time, just where she lamented how she was slowly just fading away. Because having that little self-awareness from time to time when you're losing your memories and everything that makes you you is got to be terrifying. Kinger seems to understand that he's not the most stable person ever. And of course he struggles a bit with his memories. But the darkness reminds me of that one moment with his wife. And it's at the very least that memory has control over, so he's holding on to it. Which alone keeps him sane enough for moments of time, just enough to depart with some really great words of wisdom to not only Pomni but us, the audience. The one that I think is the most important, that I hope will live on in animation history, is:
in this world, the worst thing you can do is make someone think they're not wanted or loved.
But here's where the meta perspective kind of comes in. Gooseworks, the series creator, in case you didn't know, is a bit goofy. But from what I understand, she has been suffering from depression, and maybe this quote was something she wanted to hear herself in her darkest moments. Because I promise you, there are people out there that needed to hear something like this. So maybe this is just her relaying wisdom or something she learned through Kinger, which is very interesting. It's also important to remember how he emphasized that you should hold on to the people you love, because you'll never know when they'll be gone. And speaking as someone who has lost almost everyone I have ever cared about, this is true. I cherish the few people I have left so much. It's just appreciating the moments you have and make new, great memories with those that you care for. I think that's one of the big takeaways here. And from in the show, it's also very important for Pomni to hear, because it seems to be a good way to keep yourself sane, to know that they are stuck in this circus together, but they're a team and they can get through it if they care about each other, keep each other close and remember them. I truly believe that this is one of the finest moments in animation, not just indie. It doesn't go on for that long, it's well acted, beautifully animated, and very well written. They accomplish something spectacular with this scene. This shot from episode 1 showcased the potential the show had, and this scene is that potential. To me, this elevated the Digital Circus from a really good to generally one of the best ever. Even if the show won't be better from here, I am ultimately a person who cherishes individual moments more, because I can't remember whole movies or horrible shows because my memory's goddamn terrible. But I promise you, I will never forget this scene. I even watched it with one of my closest friends. He was honestly not too sold on Digital Circus. He thought the first episode was cool, but the second episode didn't really hook him. But when we came to this scene, when we watched it together, he was like, no, I'm actually a fan now. Because he found this scene overall very relatable, and it got him so invested in the characters and the overall setting. I wish nothing but the best for Goose and everyone else that are in any way involved with the show. Because you have created something timeless, honestly. And if it keeps up even a fraction of what this one scene is, then I cannot wait to see what they do next.